my life is full of expectation and anticipation that we're going to make a positive difference in someone's life. And really, is there anything better than that? If there is, you're going to help me what it is.
Today, I have the pleasure of joining Dr. John Maxwell. John,
Hey.
Thank you for being on the show.
It's so good to be with you. Doggone it. I love you, and I love what you do, and we're going to have a good time and help people.
I agree 100%. You know, you and I met, 11 years ago maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe longer, 12? I can't remember.
I remember when I met you, though, I realized very quickly that you understood business and you understood leadership. And, it's one of those times, sometimes you just meet somebody for the first time, but you think I've known them all my life. And that's how I always felt with you, just incredibly comfortable with your friendship and just felt like, hey, we could do some stuff together that could help people.
I agree, and there's a certain feeling. My dad was a pastor.
Sure.
There's just a certain energy that you carry that reminds me a lot of my dad, who happens to be here in the studio with us. So hi, Dad.
And who is a great man. I mean, hello.
So for me, my personal journey of recognizing when my shareholders sold my first business that I was just a horrible leader, and not knowing. I think non-knowingness, I don't even know if that's a word versus knowingness. It's like not knowing what you don't know.
Sure.
And then a dear friend of ours, Hector Lamarck, said, you need to read this book. And he gave me 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And that book just absolutely changed my life.
Wow.
And then it caused me to go into all your work. I just kept reading and reading and then applying it to business. And then you and I had the pleasure, I don't know, probably 9 years later, start working together.
Yes.
And it's just, you've touched my heart and me as a human in so many ways. How many times do you get to hear that around the world?
A lot.
Yeah.
And I say that very humbly. I'm very grateful. And I'm real surprised, honestly. My mentor, I never had any, I don't know if you know this story, but I never had any desire to write a book. I love to read, but writing a book, being an author, that was no big deal. But I had a mentor, his name was Les Parrott, and he had written 5 books. And one day we were having lunch, and I said, Les, why do you write books? And he said, I want to extend my influence beyond my personal touch. I want my influence my circle, I want it to enlarge. And I leaned into him right then and said, then I'm going to write books. And the only reason that I've ever written books is not because I have to go write books. It's because it was a way for me to help people and add value to them. Little did I know that those books would become popular and that circle of influence would become greater, and that the books stay with you. Like you take the 21 Laws, or any of the books you read, you don't just read it once and put it down, but every once in a while you go back and pull it back up. A book kind of lives with you. And so I've been writing. 86 books later, I'm still writing and loving every moment of it. And yes, every day I have people that I would never know come up and say, hey, let me tell you, this was the book I read that just kind of helped turn me around. Very rewarding. So that's why I do it. And I get up every morning at 5:30 and start writing. And Brandon, people ask me, say, you must be very disciplined. I said, no, I'm just full of anticipation. You see, I get up early and start writing because I know I'm going to say something or write something on paper that's going to change somebody's life. And it's the anticipation that keeps me in the game. People say, well, you're 75. Why are you still doing all this stuff? Anticipation today. On this podcast, we're going to help somebody. We're going to make a difference in somebody's life. And it's going to be a good thing that you and I showed up. And it's going to be a good thing that they listened up, and it's going to help them. And then we're going to do some more stuff with a lot of your people today. And my life is full of expectation and anticipation that we're going to make a positive difference in someone's life. And really, is there anything better than that? If there is, you're going to have to help me what it is, because I don't know.
I agree with you. When you can touch people's lives, and I've been using your body of work combined with my experiences to teach people how to lead in their businesses. And you and I have had the privilege of actually working with a lot of those people at the same time.
Of course.
And it is just amazing what happens when the light goes on for people when they realize, hey, if I actually actively engage people, give them a vision for the future, encourage them to succeed, have them win with me, how much they can do.
Yeah, and Brad, one of the things you do really well, you introduced me a little bit earlier to your podcast group that I'm a thought leader, and I am a thought leader. But one of the things I think that makes you so successful and so unique is that you can take a thought and put it into practical action and develop a game plan off of it. In fact, I know no one personally that's at the level of you, having the ability to take good ideas, good thoughts, put them together, systematize them, lay them out in an order that people can understand and follow, and help them build a business. You've done that for so many years for so many people, and I'm always in awe of you because I know these thoughts and ideas work, but and you're such an action person, you take them immediately. I mean, the ink's hardly dry, and you're already running with it and developing a plan and a business, and that's why you've helped so many people, because you and I both know people can have a good thought or a good idea, but they just don't know what to do with it. And so they kind of hang, hoping something will happen, and then you come into their life and say, well, no, here's what you can do with this, and here's how you can build some business, and here's how you can help people, and here's how you can make some money. So you just do it really well, really, really well, Brandon. And that just excites me, because you take my books, 21 Laws, whatever, and you teach them, but you not only teach the principles and the laws of those books, but you teach people, okay, now here's how you apply them to your life. Nobody does it better than Brandon Dawson. Nobody.
Wow, thank you, John.
You just do it really well. Really well.
And the fact that we've got to work together for so long in different aspects of both of our lives with the different people that we get to touch. You're such an inspiration to me, because when I do see all the books and all the things you're doing, your Equip Foundation all over the world, it makes me feel like, why can't I just get bigger and be bigger,
But isn't that true with everybody? When you get around somebody that is big and they want to help you, you just feel bigger. I always feel inspired. I leave you and I think, wow, I can do more. I want to do more. I think big people make you feel bigger. Honestly, I think small people make you feel smaller. So it's kind of like who you're going to hang with. You know what I mean? I prefer hanging around with people like you. I always come away a better person because of the time that we have.
I appreciate that. For me, you dynamically changed my life. I get a little emotional, maybe.
It's all right. We're buddies.
Yeah.
That works. That's why we're in the game, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard to impress upon people that when someone that you don't actually have to know them, like you loved me before you actually met me.
Yeah. Well, because I value you as a person, but that's the key of leadership. I tell leaders all the time, when you stop loving your people, stop leading the people. Because leadership gives us a terrific advantage. If you are a leader, and a good one, you are on higher ground than other people, not because you're better or not because you're a person of more value, but if you can see things before others see them, and you can see more than others see, it's just that you're going to win. You're just going to win. Now, the question is not, can I see a bigger picture more? Can I see a quicker picture better and faster? The question is not, can I see that picture? The question is, what am I going to do when I see it? Am I going to take that and help me? Or am I going to take that and help others? And I think that is the distinguishing difference between leaders that really add value to people and leaders who don't. Leaders that add value to people, they take all of the leadership advantage they have and they turn it into the advantage of the people. In other words, they say, let me share with you what I know. Let me share with you what I've experienced. Here, you can do this also. Here, why don't you get in the game with me? And again, you have done that for many, many years, and you've helped so many people that honestly, if you wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have gotten in the game. So I know some leaders who they use that as their own personal advantage, and so I know they won't tell anybody. They'll say, well, this is mine, and I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go make some money, and they do it for self, and it's just kind of very sad to me, because if you have a leadership gift, you should use it as a gift to others and let them benefit and be blessed by it too.